developer that support. In these days, we also publish an update with a small patch for who is using the specific transaction index feature. And so if you're using it, please download the last version that is named 301. And for what regard these, I would like also to thank the people that have been testing our release so far and also that spotted the small issue. And so that was very useful to have your feedback. So please keep doing so and keep sharing your feedback with us. Okay, then for what regards the proving system related to the release that will be coming after. We have finished the implementation of the refactoring of the Marlin repository, so this is now currently in review. And moreover, we are continuing with the implementation of the refactoring of the gingerlib repository. In addition to that, also the changes that were requested during the first level of review of the Poseidon circuit optimizations have been addressed, so now everything is ready for the final code review. And last but not least, about the delivery of the ZK audit chain milestone 3, all the final change requests that were requested on Java code have been addressed and reviewed again. So everything is fine and this activity is completed. So that's probably all for today. Back to you, Rosario. Thank you.
Thanks for the updates. And it's wonderful to hear that we had a community member making a request for Zendo. So that's great news. Lucy, you're up for the marketing updates.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. So 8 days to go before Zendo's mainnet activation. Big congratulations to our engineering team. And this is very exciting for all of us and our community. But really, this is just a start of a new era for Horizen. And Zendo will open doors to an unbounded possibilities for us. So later today, we will give everyone a sneak preview of what's coming on Horizen after Zendo's goes live on the mainnet, and when Zendo is available for the world. So we release an article about that. So please stay tuned. And also to celebrate the Zendo mainnet launch, Michael here from Australia, and he's also live streaming this live insider right now. He will be hosting a virtual party with the community, and there will be some guests to the show as well. And then the party will be on December the 3rd. So please mark that on your calendar and be sure to show up. We will have a very exciting giveaway as well. And then also as a lot of you already know, that we are hosting a bug bounty program with HackerOne, and then this bounty program has been on private mode and working with hackers from all over the world, but it's going public tomorrow. So we are offering up to $10,000 to reward for anyone to report a vulnerability on our Zendo and help provide maximum security to improve our Zendo. And then it's going public tomorrow, and we will make an announcement tomorrow. So please stay tuned. And then also, Rob will be a guest at Scott Melka's show. So Scott is a creator and host of podcast and YouTube channel called The Wolf of All Streets. So Rob will be doing an AMA on his Monday live stream next week. So please tune in next Monday to show some Rob support at this AMA. And also, we will be sponsoring and participating in a blockchain conference called Coin Agenda in Puerto Rico shortly after the mainnet launch. So, some of our leaderships will be speaking at the conference as well. And if you are in the neighborhood, in the area, please come to the conference and meet the leadership team. And then we will also be hosting a Horizen event there to celebrate the mainnet launch. That's it from me. Back to you, Rosario.
Thank you, Lucy. And I'd like to highlight something that you mentioned with Zendo. So yes, Zendo is going to put us at the next level where our Horizen blockchain becomes a platform where other builders can build their independent blockchains and apps and do all that. Zendo was audited by two separate companies, and this bounty program with HackerOne that Lucy had mentioned is a way of rounding it out. So we are committed to this security and safety of our users, and this is security vulnerabilities. It's a constant work. So this is our effort to ensure that we have a rounded security assessment on Zendo. And next up is Vano.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Rosario. So Lucy already mentioned HackerOne going public tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. So far, it has been in so-called private mode, where only invited hackers were able to participate. But starting tomorrow, our community members will also be able to participate. And all you need is to register on HackerOne and also, obviously, test Zendo and submit reports. Apart from that, we are providing a lot of support for our partners around Zendo. Some of them have already started testing, and some of them already tested successfully. And huge thanks to our infra team, our dev team, our PM team for supporting these integrations going forward. Back to you, Rosario.
Great. And next up is Zane for our product and engineering updates.
Thanks, Rosario. For product engineering, I'm going to go through the updates for the three teams, and there'll be the tools team, the sidechains team, and the dev relations team. So for the first, the tools team, as Vano mentioned, we are providing support for the partner integrations with the testing and testnet, whether it's our JavaScript libraries like Zencash.js, our partners with the software integrations for them, and also for our wallet, specifically Sphere, doing the final tags and builds. And the tools team is also working on the initial build out of our web wallet. And so for the web wallet, we're creating the basic flow and structure in terms of how we want to build it. And we're making great progress. Much kudos to our super talented engineers, Louis and Yuriko, for leading the effort here. They're working on the private public key and address generation portions of it now. And concurrently, we're working on the backend API for it. The web wallet will house our first token, Zenny token, which you've heard of previously, and that the sidechain for the Zenny token is being actively worked on by the sidechains team. And so the sidechains team is focused on really building out this token in testnet, implementing the boxes for our SDK and the transactions. And it's a very aggressive schedule. But while we're working on it, we are working very closely with marketing to devise a plan to both test and distribute Zenny in the testnet. So more to come there. The sidechains team is also continuing work with Celsius and the game chain. We're upgrading to the latest version of our SDK and making appropriate changes to our block explorer for each one. Lastly, for the dev relations team, we are looking, our main goal there is to open up the ecosystem, and we are first hired our lead dev advocate, Yvonne, which you had met in previous calls. We're in the process of building roadmap areas of immediate focus, long-term vision, some metrics, and we have a similar sprint cadence and agile process as the other teams. So just having some solid momentum here. And overall, also doing 2022 planning for the three teams, so working on the roadmaps. pass it back to Rosario.
Thank you, Zane. It's always very exciting to hear the updates, especially with the when Zenny. All right. And next up, filling in for Rob. Now let's welcome Dean for updates and Q&A.
Cool. Thank you, Rosario. Yeah, filling in for Rob, who is currently off speaking at a very important conference in Central America. Rob is the blockchain expert speaking in front of a variety of government officials and industry leaders. And so excited to see what comes from that. But with that said, obviously these are never quite the same when Rob isn't doing the closing thoughts, but I'll give it my best effort. So I think the most exciting news that we're all waiting for is 8 days from now. So the release of Zendo. This is our Cosmos Avalanche moment. Solana, you pick the platform of choice. This is a big deal for us, obviously. We've been working towards this moment for so long as I can remember. So this is really the first step in us fulfilling our mission of being the ZK-enabled network of blockchains, which I think really accurately describes who we are and what we're doing. And I think most people outside of our little echo chamber don't know that yet. And so 8 days will kind of be a big moment for the world to realize that we are, in fact, more than a fork from Zcash. So excited about that. And what it means is, so not only will we no longer sort of be in that fork of Zcash category, but we are now a platform. And that means we will be attracting developers and users more and more as time goes by. We've seen this in other ecosystems that have built platforms. That in the beginning things are slow, and then they just start to escalate and scale, and nonlinear growth, which we've talked about before. I expect to see that very much in the developer and user stage as well. This also means that there will be more demand for Zen, because all of these side chains are proof of stake, and Zen is the gas that powers this ecosystem. So developers building side chains will want to have Zen, and the added development will cause more nodes to come into our ecosystem. It will be more profitable for node operators to operate. So overall, I think we're just a week away from the start of a really new era for Horizen and our ecosystem. So anyway, so super excited about that. Super amazing that Zane and team are having a web wallet up. This is something that we've been talking about for a long time, and it sets us up to participate in DeFi the same way, let's say, MetaMask does for Ethereum. Really sort of fundamental and needed if we want to compete with other platforms and make things user-friendly. So excited about that. And of course, excited about Zenny, which is our fun initial token, which demonstrates our technology and what we can do. So excited about that, and hope that I'm amongst those who receive an allocation. That would be exciting. And then last thing, Horizen Community Council. So you've heard us talk about it before, HCC. This has been a community governance council that's been in the works for some time and just never really got up and running the way I think everybody involved had hoped. But that's going to change. So we are starting officially the kickoff of HCC. Rohan, our head of BD, is overseeing the project. Our goal is to define the mission, form the entity, set up an initial council, and then at that point, it will be up to the council to formalize how HCC will be governed, how it will interact with the community directly, et cetera, et cetera. But we're taking that first step and kicking things off. So excited about that. Hope to have updates for you guys next week or the week after. And that's it for me. Maybe we can move on to questions.
Yeah, thank you, Dean. And so excited about what you mentioned on our transformation from a cryptocurrency to a blockchain and having this growth within our ecosystem. Let's see. So our first question, maybe Alberto, he could tell us what would you like to do right after launching Zendo to mainnet? Drinking some water, shouting, maybe, I don't know, tequila.
I mean, probably a good idea would be to organize a big party with all the community, no? What do you think, Rosario? Maybe here in Milan? I mean, it will be a right time to celebrate with all the people about these 3 years of hard work, and so why not?
I love it. And Michael from Australia is hosting a virtual party. So we will love, we are participating and love to be there. But yeah, love the idea of having a party in, and my dream is that we actually do have our Zen Con Zero sometime next year, hopefully.
Could
Okay,
be,
so
yeah, it could be also, let me say, the occasion for doing that, no? All the companies
yeah, absolutely. And we will be, it just it happens, we will be in Puerto Rico after the Zendo launch. So for those that are in the area who will be attending Puerto Rico's Blockchain Week, we will be participating in the Coin Agenda conference. Next question is more of a maybe Zane can spill the beans a little bit. Is when Zenny?
That's a really great question. I mean, with Zenny, we have been working really hard, and it's a aggressive timeline because it does include getting the sidechain completely up, the backend API, and the wallet. But as of now, for us to even go to the testnet, it would be aggressive. So it is. I'm hesitant to give an exact time, but we'll let everyone know when we do have the exact timeline.
Right. And the important thing here is that we will be distributing Zenny to our community, and the method of that is still being in the works, and timeline as well in the works. So next up, this is also for Alberto, and the question was, what can developers do with Zendo?
Okay, I mean, let's say that it depends on the imagination of the developers, no? So the reality is this one, because they would be able to build an application using the SDK, and we are releasing, let me say, the first version of the SDK with the full support of sidechain withdrawal and I mean, and all the features. So they will be able to, for example, the Zenny chain is an example of a Zendo, let me say, possible sidechain. But this is obviously not limited to that. It can be any kind of sidechain. I mean, it could be a stable coin sidechain. Why not? Or let me say, as we did also other examples, the car registry is just an example, but it could be real estate related. Can be a privacy preserving sidechain. So we are also making available not only the SDK itself, but also the libraries that are enabling you developers to build also privacy preserving sidechains. And for privacy preserving, I don't mean specifically in terms of coin transfers. I mean in general privacy preserving. So we can and Celsius is another big example of what you can do with the Zendo and the sidechains. So it's really limited just to the imagination of the developers. And I see Dean suggesting Dean chain. Why not? I mean, this could be also a good option.
Dean's been asking for Dean chain for quite some time right now, but yes, that's such a great response, Alberto, because it really Zendo opens up the possibilities for developers to utilize number one, have all the components to build a parallel and independent blockchain, and also use ZKP enabled technology if they wish, or privacy technology if they wish to have some data within their blockchain that they would like to keep private. And the final question is when Celsius and GameChain products. Well, I have an update on GameChains that I will post here. So we have an alpha version of the game that we will be sharing here in our Discord community. So that is moving along very well. And Zane, anything, or Alberto, anything that you'd like to add on Celsius?
I mean, we are approaching the last stages for Celsius. So for what regards this, let me say, proof of concept, I mean, we're almost there. And yeah, it's for us, it's a big, let me say, milestone, because really shows how Zendo can be used and what are the possibilities. No, even in this case, working by providing proofs of something that happened even on other chains. So for example, on the Bitcoin chain. No, so this is a very, in my opinion, a very complete and extensive example of the possibilities that there are. And let me say, following the Celsius example, many other applications that are, let me say, can be constructed by preserving privacy for what regards what is happened on other chain can also be built. So again, this is really how to say, just limited to the imagination of the users. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Alberto. And for Celsius, so our goal is to deploy both Celsius and Zeni on testnet. So it won't be before the end of the year. It won't be on the mainnet quite yet, but we will be deploying it with the latest Blaze SDK on a testnet. So and for Celsius, shortly after, because we will have a combined testing period with Celsius. So shortly after that testing period, that will migrate to a mainnet for a Bitcoin mainnet. Great. It looks like we are at time, and we've addressed the top 3 questions. So that's it. Thanks everyone for joining us today, our weekly insider. We'll see you next Monday for the latest Horizen updates. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
everyone. Have a great week.
Have a good one.